and welcome to BWTM Sports. Let's get this thing sorted out here. We will certainly have to adjust this first. Okay. Right. As I said, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports and Gaming. So, for the last, let's say, about 20 years of my life, I've been coaching cricket from around the world. The game here that I'm showing today is Don Bradman's Cricket 2017. My laptop's down at the moment, so I've decided to do this coaching video like this. So this is what I'm using in the background. Don Bradman's Cricket I thought was pretty appropriate, and that there is me. But anyway, so let me tell you a little bit about myself. For the last 20 years of my life, or for 20 years of my life, I've been in sports development, particularly in cricket. I've been coaching for 20 years, and that I've coached from grassroots level right through to coaching internationally for my island of Grenada in the Caribbean. During that time, from coaching grassroots cricket, I started off coaching quick cricket, and the first time I realised that coaching was for me is that I took two teams to a final. There were 32 teams that took part in a tournament in Hackney, this is in London, and out of those 32 teams across Hackney, the two teams that got into the final were both teams that I coached. That was when I first really started getting out into coaching into cricket, and I felt at that time when I wanted to express myself as a coach, I was very much held back by the people that were around me. They didn't want me to move on. They didn't want me to progress as a coach, and I kind of felt held back by that. They wanted me to just be a member of staff and just be somebody's bag boy. And I realised I had the ability to coach, so I left that. I got employed. I got a job working with the council, and that they gave me the role to coach and became their head coach. And we went from there. I was fortunate to get caught by one of Middlesex's top coaches at the time, Tommy Radford. He did coach. He did my coaching. So I did my level one, and my level one was with Tommy Radford, but level two I did with Tommy Radford as well. And along the way, I had people like John Embry, Neil Ryder. He was obviously John Embry, the spin bowler for England, legendary spin bowler for England. I had Neil Ryder, who was the England women's cricket manager at the time, and many other people that popped in and out of my coaching career, which were really helpful to me. And through that time, winning tournaments in the UK, bundles of tournaments being won, coaching many players to achieving their dreams, from being just playing grassroots cricket right through to playing district cricket to playing county cricket, so there's a lot of that. In terms of admin, I've worked two major counties within the UK, and working with their infrastructure as well. I've coached at district level as well, taking players. I was manager of the London squad for Middlesex at one point, and A side for that was, I think there was about 64, between 64 or 100 clubs within the London area, which we had to try and find. I had to pick 11 players to represent London A side, so that was a fantastic experience as well. I was fortunate as well to work behind the scenes and able to meet the Australian cricket side. I was able to work with international players such as Shahid Afridi. Who else we've got? Devon Malcolm, Suresh Raina. Met him when he was 19 years old, when he first came to the UK, touring with India. Abdul Razak, Justin Kemp, Travis Burt, Shavag. Oh, he's a lovely young man. Shavag, Muralitharan I've worked with. And this is through a tournament. We had a 2-day tournament called Superstars, where there's like different skills like bowling, batting, fielding. Who could hit the ball the hardest? It was between Justin Kemp, Justin Kemp was like built 6'4", about 6'4", 6'5". He was built massive compared to skinny Shai Afridi, and they had to see who could hit the ball the hardest over three times. I think the bowling machine would hit the ball out, and then they'd try to hit as far as they could. And Shai Afridi, obviously much smaller to Justin Kemp, the gap was that much between Justin Kemp, who's like 6'5" and about 19 stone, versus Shai Afridi is like 6'1", 6'2", and you know, like a beam polling, boom. And it was that much between him and Justin Kemp. Incredible experience, totally incredible experience. So now, one of the things that I find that is very helpful within cricket for myself, has been one of the key components to my success as a coach, is how you interact with players. Okay, there's a thing called the praise burger, and I'll explain how the praise burger works in coaching. The praise burger works like this. So imagine your burger, you've got your bread on top, you've got your burger in the middle with all that good stuff, and then you've got the piece of bun at the end, all right, the bottom. So whatever we do in coaching, we must start on a positive and we must finish on a positive note. So here's a typical situation. I'm doing a one-to-one coaching session with a young batsman. He's just not scoring enough runs, or he's lost form, or he keeps getting out playing the same shot over and over again. Or it could be a bowler. He's bowling the ball, but he's not quite taking as many wickets as he should be. He's having problems with his run-up, his follow-through. He's bowling a lot of no balls. He's bowling ball wide all the time. The various challenges that a cricketer will face at some stage of their career. So let's say this is how a typical session would go for myself. I've walked into a room. That person, let's say it's a batsman, they're in the nets. Nets is a place where they do practice. So I will go and say, okay. So let's say let's use Toby. Say, good afternoon, Toby. How are you today? Now, Toby, let's say I've known Toby. Toby's a player in my club, and I've known Toby a while. He's a good run scorer. He scores a lot of runs. A useful player in the side, but he's not his form's not great at the moment. So what do I say to Toby? I've got to encourage Toby. I've got to get Toby back to remembering what he did before as a player, and to keep that within him, and keep that going. So I say, right, good afternoon, Toby. How you doing? So I'm good, coach. How you doing? I'm good. I say, so Toby, look, I understand you've not been scoring runs recently. You know, you're a bit of a dry patch at the moment. I know you want to get into trials. You know, you want to do your trials this year for the county, but you're not scoring as many runs as you'd like. Let's see how we can address the problem. So, first of all, Toby, I want to let you know that you are a very good player. You're a very good batsman. I know you can score runs. Only last season I saw you go top scoring for the club, or you know, you've been playing very well. You've been scoring runs. I can see you improving. But however, look, I've noticed that your bat's not coming down straight. So you first talk with the praise of him, then we talk to the constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is where we don't destroy the player, but we just let him know where the issues are, where the problems would be, and how we can fix them. So, Toby, look, your bat's not coming down straight, for example. Or, Toby, you're getting 10 runs and 20 runs, and then you're just hitting out. You just stay in the crease a little longer. So you need to concentrate a little bit more. And you need to focus more. Your bat's not coming down straight. So let's see how we can get that bat coming down straight. You know, you're playing across the line, which means you're missing straight balls all the time. That's why you keep getting clean bowled. You know, so you are good. And then when you've given him whatever the issue may be, and you've always got to say wherever the issue is, whatever the challenge may be with the player, it can be rectified. You as the coach have to instill that confidence within the player. The player has to see you as good enough as a coach to rectify the problem, but they themselves have to take responsibility and accountability at that point in time within that praise burger. A lot of players, and I mean a lot of players, whether it be playing locally or even nationally, naturally, you know, they don't abide by what the rules are. They're not scoring runs, they get booted out the side. You know, when they're like local level and they're like a star player, sometimes they tend not to listen to the coach. And there was a situation where Peter Moores and Kevin Peterson famously fell out because obviously Peterson was a star batsman and Peter Moores wasn't that great a batsman. And Peterson said, well, who are you to tell me how to bat? So you have situations like that. However, in this situation I'm talking about here with a player and a coach, it's very important that the player and you out there who's a batsman or a bowler, you have to take accountability for your actions. You have to take accountability for your playing style. You have to take accountability for where you've got it right and then where you need to improve on it. So I've got to say to the player, this is where the player has to be accountable. I say, look, Toby, you're playing across the line. You're not playing straight. Your bat's coming from outside, second slip, coming round to first slip, then by the keeper, and then you're trying to go straight. By the time you've done all that against a fast bowler, and you bring your bat round, you're going to get clean bowled. We need to try and keep that bat more straight. We need to bring the bat coming back behind the keeper as opposed to it going out to first slip. So that might be a reason. Oh, look, when you're playing your bat's coming from here, it's coming out and then it's going across. We want to keep your bat straight. So at this point, I can say to Toby, these are the issues. And I believe in you, you know, that you can get this right. However, it's going to take some work from you. At that point in time during the praise burger, I believe there has to be an agreement between the player and the coach. The coach has to believe in the player, the player's got to believe in the coach. If that doesn't happen, or there is some sort of agreement that the player is going to trust the process, if that doesn't happen, there is a problem right there. But let's say he does agree, Toby does agree, then we end it after we talked about what the problems are and how we're going to resolve those problems or those technical issues, how we're going to resolve them. Then we end by saying, you know, Toby, you're a very good player, you know, and I really do believe in you. And I believe if you follow this strategy or you follow these things, if we keep practicing and work on it and you keep the faith and you keep the process, you will become the player you need to be. And you've always got to build that dream for that player. For me, the coach has to be a dreamer. Realistic, but a dreamer. There's no point telling a player who can't hold the bat he's going to be the greatest player, he's the greatest player in the world. Can't do that. He may have the potential to be the greatest player in the world, but unless they're demonstrating that, or at least they're making the effort to try and get to that point, you know, you can't sugarcoat things. Tell a player, look, you're going to have to put the work in. But you must always be encouraging. Never try to destroy a player's confidence. So there's the praise burger right there. You talk, you say to the player, you say to the player, look, you're a good player. You're instilling confidence. You're coming to the player and say, look, you're a good player. Then you're saying constructive criticism. This is what you need to work with. This is what you need to work on. And here are the areas where I feel you need to work on. And then at the end, we can go on and say, you're a good player. And this is how we're going to go forward. And I believe in you. And once you work that, once you've got that down as a coach to a T, and you know your player, and they trust you. They trust you as a coach. It's key. And for me, I've always instilled trust wherever I've gone, whether it be at club level, coaching in Australia, where I won the 1-day and 2-day title in Australia, the different formats, or coaching just for a local club or working in school. It doesn't matter. It still remains the same. Once you're able to relate, once you're able to gain the attention of the player, once you're able to gain the respect of the player, and that player believes in you, and you yourself as a coach is a dreamer, you have to see the player that you're working with at their highest self, the best they possibly can be, and then hope that that player will follow you on that journey. It doesn't always work that way. I've been fortunate that for the most part, the players that I've said and I've seen the dream with, they've gone on and become county players. They're players today 10 years on, after me coaching them as 15 and 16 year olds, and now grown men heading captaining their teams and supporting their team. So I hope this video has helped. And if you're out there and you want to know a little bit more about the Praise Burger, or you've got some coaching questions, then feel free to ask me. This is the way I'm going to probably do more of my coaching videos. But yeah, and of course, just Google my name, Ingram Jones, and you can see all the coaching videos that are out there. There are coaching videos on this page as well. So you can see it's all out there, the coaching I've done, and I will start doing more coaching videos. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've enjoyed this time. Let me see before I finish, because I've been just busy talking. There may be a question or two that's been asked, so let me just quickly check here before I go on. Let me go back a second. Give me a moment, because I have to use my okay, let's do this quickly, huh? Okay, so Ruben asked the question. Oh, sorry, Ruben. Beesborough CC. I've heard of Beesborough CC actually. Praise Burger sounds very constructive. It is very constructive, Ruben. It's essential for any coach to have. And you can use the Praise Burger not just in cricket. You can work it in boxing. You can work it within business. The Praise Burger is so powerful. So powerful. And I don't believe, not for 1 second, do I believe a negative brings about a positive. You see, there are some people, there are parents included, that believe that if I speak negatively to my child, it's going to bring about a positive result. It may bring a short-term positive result, but long-term you're doing damage to that person. So it's better to speak positive to that person. It is better to speak positive. What is the most important thing for a coach? Over 20 years is belief in self and trusting the process. Even coaches have doubts. I've had doubts over the years. You know, when I've gone in to a new environment, I've just had to go through my black book of all the trophies that have been won, all the newspaper clippings, the video that I did community champion in 2010 and 11, where 8.5 million homes saw a mini documentary of the work I'd done, set up academies across the UK and the success it had. And I just look back and I think to the things I've done with the players. I think to myself, right, trust the process. So self-belief is very important. Not arrogance now, self-belief. And being relatable, being able to communicate. Communication is key for any coach. A coach is able to communicate with players, communicate with staff. And even more important than that, across cricket clubs, that cricket clubs and their management don't get in the way of the coach, because the old school method of coaching for some of these old school clubs, and that's why some of these clubs are dying out, because they're not working hand in hand with the coach. They want to use old school methods in a time now where clubs need to market themselves differently and better. You know, you have to be using social media more now than ever, because that's the only way people are going to know about your club. This word of mouth business only works so far. Dynamics are changing. So you have to, going back to the coach, communication is key. Communication. Yeah, building trust. Let's talk about building trust. Yeah, because it's a two-way thing. Obviously, the player needs to see. The player needs to be able to trust. The player gains trust by. For me, I will ask the question a player a question. So like, one of the things I try and encourage batsmen to do is to have a higher backlift. So from a higher backlift, they're in a position when they go to hit the ball, if they're going to play the pull stroke, they're only using their feet to turn here to pull. If they're looking to cut the ball, they're only using their feet and they're in a position here to let the shot go. Now, when you're batting, usually You put your bat down on the ground, then you pick your bat up. And then again, you'll pick it up further to play your strokes. Now I'm saying, well, if you can start here, then at least be here. There, 1, 2, 3, pick up your bat here. High back lift. So when the shot comes, it's just a matter of twisting your body or rotating your feet in a certain way. I find that more helpful. So players usually go with their own style, and they're doing that. And then you'll show them a little tip. I'll say, try this. Now try and make connection with the ball. So I feed a few balls up to them. And they'll hit the ball. I'll say, how does that feel with your style? Okay. I say, now try this a second. And they hit the ball cleaner than they've ever hit it. And they go, wow. It's when you've got that moment, you've gained that trust for that coach, that player. There's that almost like, aha moment. I've experienced as a coach, the aha moment with the player, where the player's got it. They finally get what you're saying to them. Some get it quicker than others. One of the biggest problems with a player is when they are so determined to do things their own way, and I'll talk about it in another video, where it's destructive to their own progress, where they're so stuck in a certain way. This is the way I've always done it. Yeah, but the way you're doing it is actually not helping your career. It's, you're getting out against better bowling. You're getting bowled out cleanly now by better bowlers. You've moved up in standards. The way you used to bowl the ball and bowl those short pitch balls and bounce people out, now you're facing batsmen that when you put the ball short, they're hitting you out the ground for 6, and they're really taking control of your loose bowling and putting you all around the ground, and you're not that great a bowler anymore. So some people, unfortunately, no matter what you say to them, they're going to stick by the way, and you've got to put your hand up. And you can't coach everybody. You can't coach everybody. But if you just stick by the principles of positive, constructive, positive, and if you can stick with that principle, you'll go far. So yeah, those are my tips about the praise burger. I hope you've enjoyed the praise burger, and I'll be back with another video soon. So this video was for somebody on our channel that asked for a coaching video. That's your coaching video for the praise burger. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned something. Hope it's been revealing to you. Please leave your comments in the comment section. This has been Ingram Jones. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out.